Okay, good morning, everybody. And today I just wanted to post a quick video basically talking about what I do um, and why I do it and what's going on with Social Security Administration. Um, so, the first thing I really wanted to touch on is Social Security Administration itself. Um, most of you that have looked on my website and my history, I worked there for 20 years. And Social Security Administration is a pretty great place to work. Um, Unfortunately, it's also really underfunded by Congress. They're always fighting to get any budget, especially hiring budgets, and particularly in the last uh, 4, 5, 6 years, they lost a lot of employees. Some of it was due to COVID, and there's lots of things going on there. But they're having staffing issues. And so when you file an online application, your claims processed by somebody called a claims specialist, which is what I was doing there for 7 years. Um, and right now, claims specialists are very understaffed. They just lost a lot of them. Um, it's a it's a very kind of complex and heavy job to take on, and so they also have problems hiring new claim specialists and taking on new claim specialists. Um, it's a lot of work, and so right now, them being so understaffed in claim specialists, the agency is really forced to push more and more applicants online. Basically, if you call their customer service line and you try and schedule an appointment to file an application, a lot of times there are no appointments available. Or the appointments are very far out. And again, it's a staffing issue because online applications are handled by claims specialists in locations called workload support units, and they are all around the country and they just do online. Also, local Social Security offices, they call them field offices, they process applications too, and sometimes you can get an appointment there to sit down with somebody face to face or to do an interview over the phone. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, those appointments can be just not available, particularly right now with the staffing issues. So, as the agency pushes more and more people to file online, you're basically filing that application unassisted. And a lot of people can take it on, and some people do quite well with it. A lot of people, when they start to get into the application, realize that it's really more complicated than they were anticipating. But now they're kind of in the application, so they just got to finish it. And if you make mistakes on that application, uh, there are some mistakes that they will reach out to you, that they have to reach out to you with what their current procedures are, and ask you to elaborate. There's a lot of mistakes people make there on those applications where they do not reach out to you. They might send you a letter telling you, by the way, this is something that you can fix in the future. Sometimes they don't even send you a letter, depending on the type of mistake you made. And as a claim specialist, I would talk to claimants for lots of various reasons. And a lot of times they would say, I didn't know what I was doing once I got in there, and I tried to call the customer service line, and the wait was an hour, hour and a half wait, so I'm not waiting an hour and a half. Or I talked to somebody in the customer service line, and I just didn't really get the impression that they knew how to answer my question. And that there's a lot of customer service agents. It's kind of the same situation. They're also understaffed and they hire a lot of customer service agents. There's relatively high turnover. And those agents have to know a lot of information. And so, yes, sometimes you'll talk to an agent, and depending on how long they've been there, they might not entirely know how to answer your question. So, as I was getting ready to close out my career at Social Security Administration, I really came up with this idea to start this business as an application consultant or an application advisor. So, what do I do? There are financial advisors that can give you some Social Security advice. Um, 99.9% of them never worked for the agency. so they have no idea about how things work internally when they're processing applications. They also generally do not walk you through that application. They'll give you some advice about Social Security. What I do that's different is when I take on a client, I sit with you and walk you through the entire application page by page. And we go through everything and all the details that are on every screen. So when questions arise, I'm right there with you and I'm going to answer your questions, and we'll get that application through as error-free as possible. Most clients I've worked with so far have been very appreciative of it because, again, once we get into the application, there's things that come up in there, and clients, people who are laymen just don't understand what they're getting at on those screens and in that application, and I walk them through it. The second thing I do is once we submit your application, I continue to work with you through the application processing stages. An application can take anywhere from a couple weeks to up to 2 or 3 months to process, depending on the time frame of when you put it in. Peak filing season for Social Security Administration right now runs from October through really April. They get a huge influx of applications, and the pending lists of the claim specialists just balloon. At one point last year, I had 1,100 applications on my pending list that we have to work with. So it's quite a workload. But as you're wading through that process, I'm going to be talking to you about this is what to expect. Here's how the application processing works. They might contact you for this reason, this reason, this reason, or they might not contact you at all. Watch your mail, watch your voicemail. Also, because I actually worked for the agency, I just have a lot of internal information about how it all works, which clients really appreciate because I give them lots of heads up on what to look for. And so that's basically what I'm doing and why I'm here. And I welcome any questions people might have. And I thank all of you for following my YouTube channel. And I'm going to post some of these videos on my Facebook page and on my Instagram page as well. So that can route people. If you're checking out this video on Instagram or on Facebook, please go check out my YouTube channel. And there are links to that channel both on my Instagram page, on my Facebook page, and on my website, mySSAguy.com. And I hope everybody has a great day.